Who do you live with?
I live with my wife, Frances, and my sons, Jacob and Matthew.
When you were growing up in New York, who did you live with as well?
My parents, my mom and my dad. I was the firstborn, and I was born in New York, and they moved to Puerto Rico when I was 3 months old.
What town did you move to?
Adjuntas, Puerto Rico.
What was it like in Puerto Rico?
Beautiful, great weather, la familia. So it was quite different from when we then later on moved to Waterbury.
Start over?
No, you can do that.
Was there anything special about your home in Puerto Rico that you remember?
Yeah, there are many special things about my house in Puerto Rico that I remember. One of the special things that I remember are my toys, which when we moved to Waterbury, we left behind. I also remember my friends. I had just finished 7th grade. Not ready yet for high school in Puerto Rico, but here I actually attended the next school, so I miss my friends. And that was wrong, by the way. It was 8th grade.
Puerto Rico.
Schools were very different. There were small classrooms, not one huge building, so you had a lot of small classrooms throughout the area, the school area. And I remember that one of the biggest differences was that when you were done with one class, you would switch to another classroom. So you actually got to go outside and walk to the next classroom. Unlike when I arrived here, it was one huge building.
What was your education like in Puerto Rico?
It was excellent. I can probably say that my education benefited me quite a lot, although I do remember having difficulties when, after completing 8th grade in Puerto Rico, my family moved to Waterbury, which was 9th grade. So my freshman year in high school, as I walked into Wilby High School, I had to take ESL classes at the beginning.
What made it so difficult for you?
The language. The difference between leaving Puerto Rico after 8th grade and arriving at Wilby High School for my freshman year was definitely the language barrier. I basically did not know anything in English, and so I had to start taking ESL classes, which at that point was very difficult as well.
Can you describe those ESL classes?
Yeah, so at that point in time, Wilby had one of the ESL centers. I started taking ESL classes, and to me that was kind of disheartening a bit. I always had straight A's in school. So coming into my freshman year in high school and having to go into an ESL program, I thought was a little disheartening to me personally. I remember beginning taking ESL classes, and I do recall going home one day and telling my mother, I can't take this anymore. I want to be just a regular kid. At that point, I opted to take a test, which they provided. I was told that I would not be able to pass the test, and this test was key because if I passed the test, they would allow me to go into regular classes at Wilby High School. I took the test, and I passed the test, and then I became just, to me, what I considered a regular school freshman at that point.
Did you attend church while you were in Puerto Rico?
I did. Church is part of everybody's life in Puerto Rico. We're very religious. I attended church quite often. I attended church weekdays and during the weekends as well. My family was very involved in the community as well, not just relegated to the church, but also activities within the church.
What was the name of the church you attended?
The name of the church was the Iglesia de Dios de Séptimo Día, which is the Seventh Day, a Baptist church. Then later on, I remember attending the Congregation of Yahweh, which was located in part of our town. So we used to travel to the church, like I said, weekdays and weekends.
When you first moved back to Waterbury, back to the U.S., what church did your family start to attend?
We were fortunate enough that in Hartford, we found the same church that we were attending to in Adjuntas, Puerto Rico. So as we arrived, the church was very proactive, the local church in Hartford. They were very proactive in helping us, and they actually provided us with transportation. So we had someone that came into Waterbury and picked us up and drove us to Hartford back and forth so we could attend church.
What was the name of that church in Hartford?
Congregation of Yahweh in Hartford. It's on Park Street in Hartford.
What were some of your favorite memories from growing up in Puerto Rico?
My favorite memories from growing up in Puerto Rico were definitely my family times. We had quite a large family, and we used to gather almost every weekend at my grandmother's house and my grandfather's house. There we would just play, hang out with my cousins, obviously eat, but just enjoy the family time. And times were different back then, so we would be able to just simply run around the house, or the majority of the time we would be playing outside. So yeah, I definitely miss that. I miss Three Kings Day, celebrating Three Kings Day. As a child, that was something that we always looked forward to. So those childhood memories are definitely my family times in Puerto Rico.
What were some of your favorite memories growing up in Waterbury?
Oh, my favorite memories growing up in Waterbury was probably the friends that I was able to build while recently moving to the city. I remember playing basketball at Fulton Park. I used to live on Willow Street, and so every day after school, we would friends get together and go to play basketball at Fulton Park. I remember fishing a lot with my father and my brother. Those are memories that I will never forget.
Okay, let me try some.
What do you like most about Puerto Rico compared to the U.S.?
I think what I like most about Puerto Rico is definitely the weather. It's 80 degrees every single day. I love the people. I love the food. I love the culture. But I also love how they embrace everyone. I've been fortunate enough to visit Puerto Rico quite a lot since I have been here in Waterbury. I bring my kids now, my family when we go, and they love it. So, but yeah, definitely the weather. It's a big difference between Caribbean and living in the Northeast. That's key.
How is your hometown compared to Waterbury?
My hometown in Puerto Rico compared to Waterbury is very, very different. I would say that Waterbury has a lot of hills and mountains, which is somewhat similar to Adjuntas, Puerto Rico, because Adjuntas happens to be in the middle of the island. So we are known for having lots of mountains and ridges and rivers. So yeah, sometimes as I drive home, I live on one of the highest points in Waterbury. So as I drive home, I think that would be a similarity as far as Adjuntas, Puerto Rico to Waterbury, Connecticut.
What kind of holidays did you celebrate growing up?
We celebrated, holidays that we celebrated growing up would be definitely Three Kings. As a matter of fact, I don't recall celebrating or recognizing or welcoming Santa Claus until probably when I moved to Waterbury when I was 14 years old. So the holidays, obviously Christmas, the holidays, that's very emotional and very personal to our tradition. So it was a family time, and definitely Three Kings to me is just stands out in my mind.
Did you continue to celebrate them when you moved to Waterbury?
Yes, we did. As a matter of fact, about 3 years ago, I was fortunate enough to help on a coalition that proposed to the city of Waterbury to make Three Kings Day an official holiday. That way our kids from schools can have the day off. They can then enjoy and celebrate with their families. And we were fortunate enough that the Department of Education, Dr. Oled, the Mayor Neil Leary, found it that it would be feasible. And for the last 2 years, the city of Waterbury has officially celebrated Three Kings Day as a holiday.
How did you celebrate Three Kings Day?
Well, we celebrate Three Kings Day in a very traditional manner. Three Kings Day for us started the day before, and we used to go out and get grass. We used to make 3 bundles of grass. We used to cut it nice and neat. We used to then put it inside a box, and we would leave milk. If you had milk, I'm talking about 30-something years ago. So if you had milk to put in a box next to the grass, and then you would make 3 little bundles, you would go to sleep. You would try to stay awake as long as possible, but obviously we would definitely fall asleep. And then the following morning, wherever you placed the box with the grass and the milk, that's where you would get up and go find your gifts. So that's, to us, that's how we celebrated Three Kings Day.
Can you please tell me what the milk was for?
So we were supposed to leave milk and grass. Milk was for the 3 kings. You were supposed to give them something in return for your toys or your gifts. And the grass was actually to feed the camels. So we would leave milk for the kings and camels, grass for the camels. And since there's 3 kings and 3, I'm assuming that they would show up in 3 camels, you would have to make 3 different bundles. So that was the purpose of leaving the milk and the grass.
How do you celebrate Three Kings Day with your family today?
We recognized the Three Kings Day, and since I am a director at a nonprofit agency, we actually celebrate citywide. So we have our families that sign up for toys. We collect toys. We make gift bags for the families. The entire families are come in and they participate in the activity. We make them a nice lunch because now they're off from school, so the kids can play. They can have lunch, and then they get to meet the kings. So we get the kings to come in, and they get very excited, and it's a beautiful celebration of our tradition and our culture.
What kind of foods did you prepare for these holidays?
We prepared lots of food. As Puerto Ricans, we love cooking, we love eating, but one of the traditional plates for Christmas time, those holidays, those special holidays with the families, it's definitely pasteles. So you had to have some pasteles, you had to have some arroz con gandules, you had to make some coquito, which is a traditional drink. And that's, if you were fortunate enough to have pasteles, arroz con gandules, and coquito, that would be a great feast to have.
What college did you attend?
Right out of high school, I attended Waterbury State Community College. Then I transferred to Manitowoc Community College, which is now a day known as Naugatuck Valley Community College, because they became one. I also attended, I got a finance degree, I got an accounting diploma from Stone Academy, and I got a theological studies degree from Shema Colegio in New Jersey.